aka Soda Baby, aka Asuka, and you're not tuned in to Soda Talks TV. And today I'm doing my first reality TV review, and of course we're talking about Joseline's Caberet. How I feel about Joseline's Caberet? Do it like it's my B-Day, baby. Do it like it's my Vegas edition. Welcome to Vegas, baby. I want you to come and pay me. Give me. I wanna ride. Yeah, all that. Anyway, so let's get into it. And shout out to my new YouTube buddy, Pierre. Make sure y'all go subscribe to him at Everin Entertainment. I'm gonna put the link to his page in my description box down below. Yesterday I did my first collab with him on the Joseline's Caberet review, and I had a really good time. So make sure you go subscribe to him for the laughs and the gags. So being that I'm picking up on the 4th episode of their 3rd season, I'm gonna introduce the girls and pretty much wrap up everything I've seen from the episodes previously to now. So here we have Black Diamond. To me, she's like a side commenter, not much, good to look at, but I mean that's all it's given. Gaia, which is the witch. I feel like she's a Kiki. I hope that they bring her back. I feel like they could really use her for the comedic effect. Jordan, she's like this like happy white girl, and she's just here to dance, and she's just ready to, you know, be positive and, you know, be really motivated to the team. Amber, I feel like a lot of people don't like her, but I feel like she understands reality TV. So I feel like she's low-key, well, no, she is the New York of the show. I'm definitely gonna give her that, because she understands that you better pick who you are gonna be, or they're gonna make you who they want you to be. Next we have Miss K Capri. Girl, she gives me B Simone vibes. Like, you're just loud and annoying and unnecessary at times. I feel like deep down inside she's very grounded and nice, but she has to put on because she knows her environment. But for some reason, the way she's putting on, it's just not right. It's just not rubbing me the right way. However, I feel like she was in the right for whooping Miss Wet Wets, because none of them other $2 was gonna do it except for Amber, and it just had to get done. So I don't blame her for doing it. But she's steady talking about, oh, how Miss Wet One want camera time, when you the main person who's always talking about it. So next we have Miss Honey. Miss Honey, she's cool. She's like the buddy pass. She's like your +1, you know, chill. We have Riri. I feel like Riri's the best at the pole, but she definitely has this, you know, not to be rude, she has trailer park trash vibes to her, but she's really good at the pole. And when I saw these girls dance, I'm like, okay, there's always 2 types of girls in the club. Girls that are like, you know, shakers, and they got the girls who do the pole. And I was just really disappointed, because I'm like, I seen all these girls doing what they do, and I just wasn't impressed. I was like, I can do everything all you did. Like, they really need to get, I was really looking forward to the talent of it all. So I was like, damn, that was a little disappointing. Maybe they need to bring some D&B on the stage, you know. Maybe they need to call some girls from Georgia Avenue from the house. Maybe they need to call some Ebony Inn, some Macombo Lounge, some stadium. Anywho, but everybody knows reality TV comes with a lot, so I don't blame certain people for not getting on that, because it comes with a stigma around you. So yeah. Anyways, so next we have Chanel TSO. Chanel TSO, she was the winner of season 2, and she's back to keep her captain hat, the bottom hat, and yeah, and she's back to find a backbone and hopefully finally check these. Next we have Miss Lollipop. She's cute, she's here, that's about it. Lexi Blow, Joseline called her back from season 2. She's another one who's cute, who's here. And yeah, Amber likes to call her a fly on the wall, and I totally agree. Next, we have Raven. Raven, she has personality, and she reminds me of the perfect bottle girl, but she's also an instigator, and I kind of like that for her too. So, and last but not least, Miss Wet Wet. Well, I feel like she's another person who understands reality TV. Make yourself a character or they'll make one for you. And her famous line is, "Yes, Miss Wet Wet, never thirsty because I stay wet." Yeah. Until, and eventually certain gimmicks do get old, so people will have to find a real character other than using their fake titties and their hairy while they talk about Jesus.
Oh! Why is your so hairy?
So on the first day, Joseline sets them up a photo shoot for them to do. And on their way in, they are already fighting. We've seen Amber so far beat Miss Wet Wet for being annoying, gloating about how wet she is in her titties. And then Joseline had to check them for fighting on the first day. Then on the way back home, a lot of gossip and tea was spilled. And they get to the house, they're warming up, getting turned, and then everybody's having liquor courage. They meet Princess Love. Joseline also asks Lollipop who she would like to see go home, and she said Amber. And then Amber spills the tea on her for selling that day. And she also spills the tea on the fact that Lexi Blow was laughing at them for sleeping outside because Joseline wasn't home to open the door for them. Then Raven spills the tea on Gaia for Gaia saying that she would allegedly strangle Joseline and chop her neck off like a chicken. So then Joseline sicks the girls on Gaia and they begin to jump her all the way outside of the house. And then eventually security breaks up the fight. They have Gaia outside waiting and she's ready to leave. Then Lexi Blow comes outside to tell her to get her stuff. She's trying to assist her, and then she tells Lexi to leave her alone because she doesn't trust them. Security helps her get her stuff, and then Gaia eventually gets into her wrestling stance to scare Lexi off, and she ends up slamming Lexi into the ground. And then security tries to break up the fight. The girls in the house catch wind of the fight and they come outside trying to jump Gaia again. They grab her bag, they throw it into the water, and then Amber thinks of a bright idea and opens up her bag and throws all her stuff into the water one by one. And that's when she finds out that Gaia is a witchcraft priest. Production ends up sending Gaia to a hotel, and the rest of the girls regroup, calm down, to start the next day. The next day, they do a recap with each other, asking each other how each other feels, what they think of each other, and they get ready to go to Joseline's cabaret. Chanel gave them the impression that they would be making up an 8-count dance to perform at the cabaret, but instead Joseline had other plans, and Joseline wanted them to clean up the cabaret before they did any dancing. So that's what they ended up doing. Then of course Amber gets into it with Chanel for giving out orders and not helping them clean. And she tells Amber that she feels like she's a pushover and pretty much that she doesn't have to listen to her. And she tells Lexi Blow that she's a fly on the wall, which I agree with. And then eventually Joseline comes back, asks them what's going on, trying to regroup, trying to, get things back to normal. And then walks in Gaia. Gaia previously asked Joseline if she could come back, so she came back to make amends with the girls. She begins to explain her views on the fight and why they're beefing, and explains her background in wrestling. The girls aren't feeling her, they're really having a hard time accepting her, and then they ask her to dance. And Kay Capri, of course, trying to make a scene, doing the most. And she begins to do a spell, and then it makes Joseline fall out. But Joseline was just with the bullshit. She was just joking along with it to make the girls think that she really got the powers. And then after Joseline falls out, she gets the opportunity to dance. And they see that she actually knows what she's doing. And most of the girls were like, no, they don't want her here. But Amber was the only one really trying to vouch for her to stay. Amber reminded Joseline that in the beginning she couldn't stand Amber, and she gave Amber a chance, so why not give Gaia a second chance? Everyone's trying to convince Joseline not to give her a second chance, so it discourages Gaia and she walks out. But Amber proceeds to follow her out. Amber tries to convince Gaia to stay, and in convincing Gaia to stay, she aggressively, forcefully reminds Gaia about the time that she told her that she would give her some, and how Gaia promised her before all this was over that she was gonna give her that, and she wants that after she shaves. Because when she danced, they found out the tea that she had a hairy cooter noodle and that was on woof. And I ain't gonna hold you, I can't laugh too hard because there is a category for men who actually like that. And I'm not gonna act like I never had one time when I thought I wasn't gonna a nigga and I ended up doing it, and it was like I was so unprepared. Allegedly. So then Gaia declines on staying. Amber goes back to the girls to break them the news that she doesn't want to stay. And then Joseline lets them know that since they're done cleaning, tomorrow will be the day that they get to show Joseline what they have as far as like dancing and like, you know, being sexy and stuff like that. And then when we get to the house, we find out that Amber has her own seafood catering business called Bleaks, and we see her getting ready for this catering order that she has at the end of the month, and she decides that she's gonna find it in her heart to cook for the ladies. So then her and Henny start recapping over the night before, and I really like the dynamic that her and Henny have. It seems really genuine. And then we get scenes of the other girls recaps and how they felt about cleaning and stuff like that. So then they get ready to make their way onto the cabaret, and then of course Miss Wet Wet starts talking her, clapping her hands, saying her infamous line, saying, "Yes, I'm Miss Wet Wet, Miss Wet Wet, never dry, 'cause I always stay wet." Look at the security guard laughing in the corner. And then K Capri gets triggered and she just starts telling her off, telling her about how she needs to stop leaking footage for the cabaret because it's not out yet, and just starts checking her on things that production really should be checking her on. And, you know, just making a big scene, as she loves to do. They get to the cabaret. Joseline lets them know that they're going to be dancing today, and she wants them to go in as groups first. And from the groups, she's going to pick the top 4. And then from the top 4, she's going to see if they can dance by themselves 30 seconds apiece. So the first group that goes up is K Capri, Black Diamond, and Raven. And my judgment on their dancing, just as far as them being exotic dancers, period, I feel like Raven has the best body out of everyone, in my personal opinion. And yes, Raven does have work done, and so does Black Diamond. But as long as it looks good, I'm here for it. And I don't feel like we have to bash people because they get work done. You just got to make sure you do your research on who you go to. So as far as dancing, you know, they were dancing like they were in a music video. Not too much pole work. K Capri, she did some pole work. I just thought this shot of K Capri dancing with Miss Wet Wet watching, I just thought it was so funny, being the fact that they just got out of an argument and K Capri over here shaking her at her while Miss Wet Wet just standing over her looking at her, judging her like, girl, who do you think you are? You about to get on this pole and do the same thing. And then the next group was Miss Wet Wet, Chanel, Henny, and Jordan. Miss Wet Wet, I wasn't impressed by. Chanel, she knows like how to move her body. She knows the art of slowing down, and it's not about shaking fast. It's like you gotta like slow down to really catch the eye of someone's attention, like the real seduction of it all. So we have Henny, as cute and fun as she is, I feel like she did terrible. She danced like somebody's sexy abuela, and no, girl. Then we had Jordan, and Jordan, I feel like she's more familiar with the pole, and she's all right. So the next group was Amber, Lexi Blow, Lollipop, and Riri. Amber, I feel like she danced really hard and she's stiff. I mean, she was trying to do a couple tricks and roll around, but it just wasn't smooth and it wasn't sexy. It was really rough and hard and it looked like it would hurt. Lexi Blow, she dance, she shake, she don't really do the pole. She's good to look at. The same thing with Lollipop. And then there's Riri. I feel like Riri is the best at pole out of everybody. And I feel like they really didn't get enough good shots of her because I was like, ooh, she was about to kill it. Every time she was about to really do good on the pole, they would switch the camera. I'm like, damn, I really wanted to see that. And then out of the groups, the top 6 people she chose was Jordan, Riri, Lollipop, Lexi Blow, Amber, and Chanel. They all got their 30 seconds apiece of chances to redeem themselves. They did what they did, and it seemed like Joseline took a liking to some girls for some other reasons, as you can see in this photo. Look at her, looking like a real perv. Lexi Blow was like, I'll dance for Joseline again and again and all day. Girl, I wouldn't be surprised if Joseline already hit that and a couple of them from this season and seasons before. I mean, Lexi was flirting with Joseline last season, so I wouldn't be surprised. And from the top 6, they gave about the same kind of dancing and amount of energy. And then Joseline announces that she has one more girl who would like to dance. And you guessed it, it was Gaia. Gaia walks in with her holy white dress with her Florida water in her hand and asks Joseline to let her dance, and Joseline lets her dance, and she proceeds to seduce Joseline by pouring Florida water all over herself and rubbing it on herself, and shows off her dancing and pole moves with that woofing out. And something tells me that Joseline likes that she has a hairy, I feel like she thinks it's different and it's pretty cool, and she gets it. It's good for entertainment. So she dances, and Joseline goes to explain to Gaia about how she would love for her to stay on the stage and how she is very alluring, but because of the type of show that Joseline is hosting, she would like for her to stay on topic of the show. And Gaia goes to explain about how God isn't separate from sex and that he likes this and how he likes, and almost saying it in a way that comes across very disrespectful, as if you're trying to say that, I don't know, but just really talking about how God really likes what we're doing and how Jesus likes hot nasties, and just in a way that was rubbing me the wrong way. So she went ahead and let Gaia dance and just told her to sit down. So from there, Joseline goes ahead and makes her final 4 pick, and her pick were Riri, Jordan, Lollipop, and Lexi Blow. But then she didn't feel right just having 4, so she found it in her heart to make one more decision, and that was adding Amber to the list of her girls to dance on the first night of the cabaret, which leaves Chanel to be the one who didn't get selected for the first night of the cabaret. Joseline let her know that she did all right, but just not enough to make the team, and let her know that with her still being here, she still has a chance to keep her title. And looking at Chanel, I just feel so freaking bad for her. I could tell by that smile, it's like she's really holding back a lot of emotion because of the way she treats her on the show. And I'm just like, damn, Chanel, I was just really worried for her mental health, because you just never know what somebody might do to themselves, because the way you talk to someone may bring up old wounds. And I don't know if I'm the only person who peeped her arm, and I just hope and pray that this girl is really okay, because Joseline is really giving it to her like a trash can. She really treats her like a freaking emotional punching bag, and maybe she has to wait a certain amount of time to get her compensation, but you just never know. But yeah, anywho, next clip. As Joseline's toasting to the top 4 dancers for the cabaret, outbreaks an argument between of course, you guessed it, Miss Wet Wet and K Capri, because Miss Wet Wet, of course, was doing her titty dance and shaking them and talking about how wet she is and how perfect her titties are. K Capri gets triggered by it. They start going, arguing, and of course, you guessed it, a fight breaks out. And K Capri pops off by throwing water on Miss Wet Wet. Miss Wet Wet throws it back at K Capri, and it looks like it got on K Capri and it got on Black Diamond. So K Capri and Miss Wet Wet start fighting, and it looks like Diamond tries to jump in because some of it got on Black Diamond, and they fall to the ground, and it looks like Black Diamond eventually starts to fight Miss Wet Wet, and somehow, some way, Black Diamond ends up breaking her arm in the next episode. So we'll see how next episode goes. So let me know what y'all think of this whole episode. I feel like it's getting turned up. I'm just afraid that they might eliminate too many people, that we might get bored. I don't want to give too many spoiler alerts, but we'll see how this next episode proceeds. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Who's your favorite of the cast? Who do you think might win this season? I feel like Amber might win. I feel like she has a strong enough personality to keep it going. And yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at It's Black Pup, my main page. So Talks to be my backup page. And we gonna get into this next video.